Hi, my name is Dennis Rivin and I have good news. I'm really happy to announce that BlogsHub and I will be testing out a new format as of today, where I will be sharing what I call actual news with all of you once in a while, in order to provide you with interesting news from radical advancements in science, technology, and okay, we're gonna start. This is a prototype today, so we're gonna try this again from the top. My name is Dennis Rivin and I have good news. I'm really happy to announce that BlogsHub and I will be testing out a new format as of today, where I will be sharing what I call actual news with all of you once in a while, in order to inspire you and provide strategic foresight for you and your organization. To begin with, I'll briefly introduce you to these two concepts: actual news and strategic foresight. So, actual news is a startup of mine. It's a media outlet designed to communicate progress of humanity, in order to inspire you to have new conversations, inspire you to think of new products, and in general give you a sense of hope in these disruptive times. I'll happily unfold my thoughts on what actual news actually is at a later point. So that's actual news. And then regarding strategic foresight, what is that? Strategic foresight is a discipline of future studies for organizations that gives you the ability to basically look around the corner and navigate uncertainty through mapping possible future scenarios. So strategic foresight is a tool to update your understanding of your operating environment right now in 2020, and most importantly, in the years to come. And what I would really like to do with these sessions together with BlogsHub is to combine actual news and strategic foresight as a service to you, where I provide interesting examples of things happening in the world right now that point to the future. Very different kind of things. These could be like discoveries in medicine that unlock completely new treatments. It could be radical breakthroughs in transportation or new ways of manufacturing things, cheaper, faster, and better than ever possible before. And more often than not these days, it will also be signs of what people call the green transition, meaning our departure from the fossil fuel economies and transformative journey to worldwide adaptation of sustainable energy. This is happening. I see signs of it everywhere, and it should be breaking news every single day, but it's not. Why? Because frankly, ordinary news are not designed to enlighten you or to help you navigate complexity. They are designed for you not to change channel, ever. And that brings me to the first thing I would like to talk about today. Today is a bit of a special. Obviously, it's a prototype. We're testing out a few things. And today we'll only focus on sustainability and energy. Maybe some of you heard about this already, maybe not. But what happened very recently is that the International Energy Agency has officially declared solar power for the cheapest form of electricity in history, and the new king of electricity markets. This is a big deal and should be celebrated. This should be breaking news every day, because this has great implications for the green transition, which is accelerating before our eyes. And we should be contemplating what this means for the near future and how to adapt our business models for this new reality that is heading our way. When the executive director at the International Energy Agency says something like this, it's a big, big deal, because the International Energy Agency was founded in order to monitor statistics about the international oil market. So saying something like this, it's a big deal. Also, the report that the IEA came out with, the Energy Outlook, is also touching on a touchy discussion topic. The annual report from the agency concludes that regardless of what people think, it is simply too soon to say whether the pandemic represents a setback for efforts to bring about a more secure and sustainable energy system, or a catalyst that accelerates the path of change. This is super interesting and again super important, There are so many discussions going on all over the place about whether this pandemic is bad or good news for sustainability. Many people feel this is a bad thing. Many people feel this is something almost impossible to overcome. And that's exactly the point of Actual News. The mission is to give you at least a sense of hope. And now you have the International Energy Agency's word for that at the very least, it's still undecided. This is no time to lose our nerve. We got this. All of this is happening at the same time as BP, one of the world's largest oil and gas companies, has declared it will cut fossil fuels output by 40% by 2030, while investing $5 billion a year on sustainable energy technologies. This is an incredibly aggressive strategy in a notoriously conservative industry. And if that wasn't controversial enough for you, BP went on just a month ago and declared that the world may have already experienced what's called peak oil, meaning the highest level of oil consumption we'll ever experience. This was expected to happen 20 years from now. But according to BP, it may just have happened already. Don't you find that interesting? In other news, China just fired up the largest solar power plant in the country. The plant is the second largest in the entire world, while Japan's new prime minister finally set out a date for Japan to become carbon neutral by 2050. Japan is the world's third largest economy, and the prime minister declared, and I quote, "Responding to climate change is no longer a constraint on economic growth." Something is going on, people. Something is happening, and I think it's really, really important that we discuss these things and emphasize the actual progress going on. Moving on, we only have 2 news left, and the first one is a bit of a feel-good story. That's a rarity in Actual News. I don't really do feel-good stories. That's not what this is about. Actual News is about progress of humanity, but this one I really like. It's about a school district in Arkansas called Batesville, where the superintendent has invested heavily in a large solar installation of 1,500 solar panels, which cuts the district's electricity needs and provides savings of $100,000 per year. Teachers are asked to actively contribute to the energy savings by conserving energy at the school while incorporating sustainability into the curriculum so students learn about it. The best part of it, it's the teachers that get the pay raise. They get a salary increase directly transformed from their energy savings. I think that's pretty cool. It sounds pretty much like a win-win-win situation. Although I have to mention that while researching this story, I found out that this same school district also allows its teachers to bear firearms in order to protect the students from gun violence. You win some, you lose some. Ending this first prototype of a Blogs Hub Actual News session on a high note, I'm going to share with you a thought-provoking piece of progress from the Lake District in the UK, where paramedics are participating in a groundbreaking exercise using lightweight jetpacks to get around in the mountainous areas and reach patients much quicker than ever possible before. Initial test flights show that the jetpack drastically reduces traveling times from 25 minutes to 90 seconds. How cool is that? Probably it's not like, the most sustainable way of getting around using jet fuel and all that. But hey, it's a doctor using a jetpack to help people in 2020. Come on. Yeah, so that's it. That's all what I have for today. Please bear in mind that everything I've talked about today are things that have happened no longer than a month's time ago. These are things happening right now. We live in very interesting times where science fiction is transforming to science fact on a weekly basis. And it's really important to notice and talk about these things. Hopefully we'll try out this again soon, and hopefully we'll make it a lot more interactive, engaging all of you in interesting discussions to really get new perspectives on your own business and everyday life, trying to play around with some of these perspectives in relation to your individual situation. Thank you very much for your time. This was Actual News at Blogs Hub, and my name is Dennis Rivin. Until next time.